Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Dungeons and Dragons conclusion. In other words, what I mean by that is this is the final review of Dungeons and Dragons. In other words, we're now like officially done with Dungeons and Dragons, and we will show y'all the figures that we've reviewed. And of course, joining here is of course my dad and Smiley here.
Yes, this right here is to wrap up the last of the Dungeons and Dragons. The only one that I don't have is Tiamat, but we covered everything else. So this is a wrap up of all the Dungeons and Dragons figures that we have and we reviewed. So
Yes.
now we're just doing a final conclusion on the whole thing from the 1980s Dungeons and Dragons cartoon.
Yes.
So-
The ones we've reviewed are from the cartoon.
Yes, and they do have other figures for Dungeons and Dragons, but the reason why I wanted to do this is so this way I can share the experience with Colton. Colton has seen the cartoons on different things on the computer, so he knows some of what's going on here of Dungeons and Dragons. So it's not a complete mystery. The thing is that I never played the board game, so I do not know what dice and how all that end goes. But I know about the cartoon.
But if we would have had our special guest here,
But
who knows a lot about Dungeons and
Yes,
Dragons,
but
he would have.
He wasn't available this go around, so we got the extra ones, and we need to just go ahead and wrap it up. So, with that said, I am going to show y'all, and Colton's going to show y'all each one of these characters, the boxes first, and then we're going to pan around and show y'all the display. So, go ahead and put Smiley up. Show them this.
So
From the back.
the figures that we reviewed for the first one is Sheila.
And each one of these come with their own accessories. And we're going to show y'all that too. So that is. Now the next one is. Give me that one. The next one is. I got it. Go ahead. The next one is Eric. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me back up. Sheila was known as the thief. She was the thief.
Yes.
And this one here is Eric. He is known as the Cavalier.
Yes.
There you go. The next one is Presto. He is the learning how to be a good wizard magician. The next one is Dana. She is the acrobat. And she has a bow.
This thing here.
You have Hank, who's more or less the leader, but really there's no one leader. But Hank pretty much leads them and they follow. Hank is known as the Ranger. Next one is known as Bobby and Uni. When you bought them at the store, you bought them. You buy Bobby, you get Uni in the package. So Bobby is also known as the Barbarian. Now, Sheila is Bobby's older sister in the cartoon. And now we have...
And finally, the last one we have is the villain of the show. The Venger. The Venger is the villain, and
yes.
This one is the Dungeon Master, which is the good guy.
Yes, but when you follow the very last story, it has a twist. All this time, you're thinking Venger's the evil one, the bad guy. But I'm not going to spoil anything. You would have to look it up to see exactly how it all originally was supposed to end. And then it all comes full circle. So I'm going to leave it at just saying Venger is the bad guy.
Yeah.
The short guy is the dungeon master.
Yes.
So I'm not going to say much more about that. Just leave that right there. In 1980s, when this cartoon come out, we did not know what we was looking at, and then as you follow the series, it starts making more and more sense. So this is a part of my childhood back from the 1980s, when this was a real cartoon that they did show on TV. Now, I didn't really know about the board game. I knew that there were board games out there, but I just looked at it at the time as a cartoon. So it was an interesting cartoon. So what do you think about it, Colton?
Oh, it was you're talking about the cartoon, right? Not the board game.
No, the cartoon.
Okay.
What you've seen from the cartoon?
It was pretty interesting for the time, and also in today's time, and Venger, the villain from the show. If y'all remembered our review of Venger and the Dungeon Master, we did say that Venger was voiced by the voice actor who voiced Optimus Prime, which is Peter Cullen, right?
Yeah.
So that was something really interesting to hear about. But the show itself was, again, like I said, interesting for its time and in today's time.
How many of y'all back then from Gen X, like I am, from the 1980s, remembers this cartoon? I'd like to know down in the comments below how many of y'all watched it, liked it, or it wasn't for y'all. I'd like to know from y'all where y'all stand with that. Me, I remember this as a cartoon. When they come out with the figures, I was like, I'm gonna get them. I'm gonna get them and review them. You know, I was like, why not? You know, I said, Colton, let me show you something. So we started this, got the last 3 here a while back. So we just need to finish it and move on to other things.
Yes.
So anyway, if there's nothing else that you want to say, Colton, then we'll just turn the camera around.
I guess we can just turn the camera around and show y'all the complete, well, the complete action figures that we have, so we can be finished with Dungeons and Dragons, right? Okay, stay tuned.